The BSAFE program has been molding young riders within the BVI for some time now, but there are still many who are unaware of the significant work being done by its organizer, Chris Ghiorse, who for most of the program's existence has provided the bicycles and gear for many of the young riders taking part in the life-changing courses. The courses are life-changing because they not only teach young people how to ride, but more importantly, it teaches them how to ride safely, which makes them even better riders at the end of the day. Last year, JTV spoke with Chris Ghiorse, who shared what inspired him to start the BSAFE program for young riders. According to the organizer, the idea for the program came to him for some time before he was actually able to implement it.
The idea is something that I've been thinking about for many, many years, trying to educate, reach an age group of children to educate them to better cycling safety methods, which I really feel is going to eventually affect how they even drive. I mean, one of my catchphrases for the program is influencing tomorrow's drivers today, which is essentially, I think if you learn how to ride a bicycle correctly, it's your first moving vehicle, it's the first freedom you're going to feel getting out of the house and going around. I mean, the BVI is a bit challenging because of all the hills and the lack of secondary roads, if you will. But the overall concept was to offer kids a free program so that there's no financial questions about how to get a bike or any of that business. And essentially when they sign up for the program, I give them a helmet. They get the helmet when they graduate, and that, you know, the primary message I'm trying to give these children is that the helmets these days are so easy to put on and wear. It's like wearing a hat. There's no reason not to put it on, and we'll see. It's going to take a while to change that thought process of just jumping on a bike without a helmet. What I am hoping is some of these more competitive kids realize that there's a safe time to pass even in bike racing. It's not just about going fast in a straight line. I mean, that's the 100-meter dash. You know, Usain Bolt, stay out of his way, and and then the 200. The bike racing's a little different. You have to share the road a bit and make your move when it's the right time. And I'm hoping that we can, one, to have 70 kids show up as a first-time event. That's really exciting because that's going to give us some selection. Right now, we have no selection for young athletes, young cyclists. Running is doing great, and I really love watching all the track and field and all the runners that are developing out of that, because it's competitive. If there's a certain group of kids that are interested in cycling and we can provide that competition, and they start learning now that it's not just about going in a straight line, you do have to know when to make your move and to do it safely, then I'm hoping to create some competitors that will be well respected.
On Sunday, October 4th, 2009, the first BSAFE Youth Races were held at the H. Laverty Stout Community College. The races weren't simply about who crossed the finish line first, but there were other objectives as well, such as good sportsmanship, following the course guidelines, and exercising safety procedures learned during the BSAFE program. The event saw over 70 children from across the territory participating in the races. Now, Ghiorse and his BSAFE team are at it again, as on Saturday, January 16th, 2010, the BSAFE program held the first in a series of races as they launched the Buzzbee Youth Bicycle Racing League for the BVI. During the event, points winners of the series in each age group won themselves a BMX bicycle worth over $400. The top 10 of the 8 to 10, 11 to 13, and 14 to 16 age groups also earned themselves free placement in the first ever Buzzbee Youth Summer Training Program. Chris Ghiorse spoke with JTV about this latest in a series of events and shared that he was encouraged by the turnout and the event.
If the weather had been nice, I think we would have had a lot more. We had close to 40 as it was, and despite the rain, and so I can't complain about that really, but it was very, very challenging. I was watching the weather. I didn't sleep at all last night because I just saying, okay, yes, no, we're doing the event rain or shine. As you saw, I had to modify the course throughout the day just because, it's not a fixed track, and the grass will recover, but I did want to have some respect for the lawn.
Ghiorse went on to explain that many of the riders who participated in the BSAFE program were able to win their races during the first in the Buzzbee series.
There are a few riders that have come to the first event that I did back in October. They've shown their consistency. Matter of fact, they actually all won their overall categories. But there were a few new faces that I saw today. One young man missed his call. You know, this whole thing about what I'm doing is that you do have to pay attention to when your number's called to the line. And at that point, it was really raining hard. So I thought perhaps, you know, some of the parents didn't want their children, I understand that, riding in the rain. So I thought it may have been one of those situations. In the end, I mean, he really came on strong. So there's a few names that I will have to go back and look at them.
Ghiorse said that sponsors are needed for the Buzzbee Racing League, and his hope is that as people see the enthusiasm of the young riders taking part in the series, they will be moved to assist in whatever ways they can.
There was no sponsorship for this particular event. The sponsors that are involved in my BSAFE program, the program that I'm doing for Class 3 students, the free after-school program, the Ministry of Education is the title sponsor, Caribbean Alliance and their agents, Caribbean Insurers, Burke's Garage, Ogier, and PricewaterhouseCoopers. Those are all companies that are involved in the BSAFE program. This is my own initiative, hoping to get some sponsorship, because I think sponsors will see the enthusiasm behind the sport. This type of event does need support. It's a lot of work. You know, none of this would have happened without the 20 or so people who are behind it trying to help me out. And so that, you know, right now, I would say it's happened because of these sponsors that helped me get the BSAFE program.
Finally, JTV wanted to hear from the young riders what their thoughts were on the Buzzbee Racing program. And so we spoke to some of the winners in the various age groups to hear what they had to say.
I like it, it's fun. I went Anigrada and I win a silver and I win about 4 gold up here. I was worried at the fourth because the dude that win me, so I say I want to win again. I put out more speed. I thought the river was going to mess me up, but on the corner there, I messed me up. I had to pull on my foot so it slowed me down.
I push it and I try hard.
So you like riding? Do you go riding all the time or you just ride?
Yeah, I like riding. As now I'm practice riding at home.
Tell me how many medals you won so far.
3.
Other races in the Buzzbee League series are scheduled to take place on Saturday, March 27th, Saturday, May 23rd, and the weekend of July 10th and 11th. During the last of the races, the overall champions will be crowned, and all the riders will await the next Buzzbee event, which takes place this summer. As long as Chris Ghiorse continues to invest his time, money, and energy into the young people within the territory, we can be assured that tomorrow's riders won't only be fast, but they'll be safe as well. This is Walter Barrett, Beyond the Headlines.